There, I'll just unmute myself. Thanks, Katie.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Well, hello, everybody, and thanks so much for having me.
Hey, Poolies, thanks so much for having me. I've really been looking forward to this.
All right, I'm a pool geek.
We're so excited to be here with you today.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
And let's jump right in.
So someone's gender identity, someone might identify as male or as female, or maybe not identify as male or female at all. Someone might identify as non-binary or gender diverse or something other than male or female. And that's completely separate from someone's sex or gender assigned at birth. They don't necessarily have to be connected. But it's also really important as an individual staff member to make a really big effort to respect people's chosen names and pronouns and people's individual identification. It's so important not to make assumptions about gender expression, sexual orientation, or family structure.
Always ask before helping, and let the person actually have a chance to say yes or no. Simply ask, would you like a hand? Can I help you with anything? If you're in a loud or crowded space, a gentle tap on their shoulder or arm just lets them know that you're talking directly to them. If you take anything away from this, I hope it's those three things. Tell them your name, their name, so they know that you're talking to them, and can I help?
I always say never repeat what other facilities have offered your swimmers. There's too many options to choose from. There's so much creativity from the manufacturers. There's absolutely no reason to mimic. These manufacturers are resolving. They're finding solutions to problems that, we didn't think 5, 10, 20 years ago that we could solve these problems.
And these are your emerging leaders as well. So they really just have access to all this technology and diversity in ways to really explore aquatics in a totally different and multiple venues. They want responsibility and independence and flexibility, but also giving them guidelines and space to do that in choices. Recognize that there's really no one fits all approach to managing multiple generations. It's just that level of understanding and where they're coming from and using our differences to our advantages.
Water safety marginalizes traditional knowledge and northern expertise. It was assumed that because I had qualifications from Southern Canada, I was the person who should be teaching these programs. Yet local people who didn't have, traditional swimming qualifications, but knew how to actually stay safe on the Arctic Ocean, had no place at the pool. So there's a lot of traditional knowledge that gets ignored when people from non-Indigenous communities come into Indigenous communities and are presented as the experts.
So adapting things to suit the needs of individual participants is probably one of the most important contributors to successful inclusion in recreation activities.
Person-centered care is where decisions are based on an individual's unique needs, preferences, and values. So person-directed care goes one step further than person-centered care. Decisions are directed by the individual. They tell you what they want.
Right? Who's making that connection? Typically, that sanitary or that storm system may be installed during construction of the building foundations and just terminate at a spot until plumbing or building mechanical or plumbing or even the pool contractor gets there to make those connections or tie into. Where is that starting to stop? Okay, is the pool contractor responsible just to bring that finish up to this edge, and then from that edge onward is somebody else, right? Or is that pool contractor supposed to take it right across the pool deck?
Service magic can be created systematically using large-scale processes like this, but it can also be created moment by moment by team members at all levels of an organization. Remember what I shared earlier? For me, excellent service will always come down to making a choice at every interaction between creating value for someone else and choosing not to. When our team members across the organization understand why we serve, who we serve, and how we serve, they can be empowered to make every interaction count. They won't always get it right, but they will more often than not. And sometimes they can get it really right.
The 80-20 rule means that you're going to spend 20% of your effort on 80% of the results. And then for the remaining 20% of the results, that's going to cost you another 80% of effort. Remember we talked before about that person who walks into a meeting room and they either add energy to the room or they suck it all out of the room like a dementor. So that's the concept of a strong state spreading. And just keep it in your mind, like every time you go into a meeting room or talk to your team, what is your state? Like what state are you spreading?
First, we found Acesulfame in every single sample, every hot tub and every swimming pool. We're able to do a pilot study on 2 swimming pools where we looked at the concentration over 3 weeks and then did that basic calculation, the C1V1 equals C2V2, to estimate the volume of urine required to account for the Acesulfame. So this was the first time to apply the strategy of using a Sulfame indicator of urine in swimming pools and hot tubs.
So the power of one. So Minty was the first ever Afghan lifesaver. Since then, he has inspired many youth in the Dandenong region to become a lifesaver or a lifeguard, especially within Afghan community members of people from Afghanistan. And so this is a power of one. We believe in mentoring. We believe in role models. They can make a big influence. They can motivate others to greatness.
That's the whole problem here is there's a lot of stuff that goes into the pool that it is undergoing chemical oxidation with chlorine, and it's not being removed from the pool system. It's being recycled. It accumulates. We're looking more at the volatile disinfection byproducts, which I mean, that's the stuff in the water that turns into a gas. The one thing that we can measure easier now than ever before is that inorganic trichloramine. So it's a simpler chemical compound and we can test specifically for it.
But we always end up with great photos, like kids love it. Typically on a photo day, the results will be hundreds of really nice images that I'll then hand over to the swim school, as long as parents sign a photo release, which historically about 90% do or more, which is great. So if they've signed a photo release, I hand those photos over to the swim school and then they can use them for their promotional and marketing materials. Bringing me to my next point, say no to stock photos.
So TikTok, what their kind of main thing is that it is extremely specific to your life. I would say most people spend their time on the For You page. Those are the videos that TikTok thinks that you want to see. And they're very good at knowing what you want to see. So they have a very sophisticated algorithm. They know like, what are your hobbies? Kind of from your behavior, right? Did I like this video about swimming? So now they know like, I want to see other swimming videos. And then they feed you more content that they know that you will like based on your preferences. So super, super specific to the like things that you're interested in. That's where they really kind of have that edge.
And that brings us to our conclusion. Wow, thank you for sticking with me there.
Yeah, so thanks for coming everyone today and for spending some time here with us.
Thank you everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know everybody's running around these days, and especially as the warmer weather starts to come around.
Thank you again, Katie, and thank you to everybody who's here.
Thank you very much for attending today's session. Thank you very much for listening to me. And I would like to thank specifically to Katie. Yeah, it's been an honor. Thank you very much.
So I want to end here today with a challenge to you. Go create magic in your organizations, one person at a time.